Some conversations are harder to have than others, like maybe when you disagree with a spouse or a friend steps up and gives you some well-meaning but unwanted advice. My next guest says, though, there are ways to make any conversation easier, and the goal here is to lift those conversations and help you improve your relationships in the long run. Studio 5 relationship coach Dr. Matt Townsend is joining me. We're going to get into some of these specifics, and you've got some awesome tips. I was cheating and looking ahead, and I'm really impressed. First, though, is there an overarching mindset that we need to kind of put on when we approach these conversations?
We always think there's conflict. We always think they're out to get us. We always think they want to slowly suck all that is good from our goodness.
Don't they, though?
They don't. They're just, sometimes they just don't know better. Sometimes they're trying to help. They're all trying to do different things. But I believe, and you'll see overall, there's a lot of stuff that if we would just kind of get over and get to a lift, it would change the conversation immediately. But instead, we want to fight them on something. We want to stop. We don't want to be controlled. And so we're going to give you 7 quick points, and each one of them, in and of themselves, could be a powerful lift. And when you start to combine them, it creates something really amazing.
Your first strategy is the apology.
Yeah. How many times have you just wanted someone to be sorry? Like, just be sorry for what you did. I don't want to hear your excuse or your reasons or your justifying. Just apologize. Now, there are some people that apologize way too easily, but I'm saying sincerely apologize. If you have offended somebody, just seriously and sincerely apologize. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. I need to be better next time.
Quickly, is there anything that can help an apology come across or read as truly sincere?
Data and details. I'm so sorry that I was home 2 hours late and that made you have to be late for your next meeting. I am so sorry. That was never my intention. If you just say, I'm sorry, got it, shut it, geez, get off my back, that's not as good, right?
Not helpful.
So the more specific you are about what you did wrong and admitting your mistake, which is another one of the tools we'll give you, admit what you did, that will help.
Feedback or criticism can be hard to hear. So what works in a conversation where you may be getting that advice that you just didn't ask for?
You didn't ask for it, you didn't want it. I'd accept it. Hey, thanks for the feedback. I appreciate that. You know what? Let me think it through and see how it would fit into my approach of doing something. So just accept it. I mean, it doesn't mean it's right. By accepting it doesn't mean you totally agree. I'm not agreeing with their feedback, but I can accept that they're giving it to me. Thank you for looking out for me that way. You can also look at it as something that they're probably trying to help. So thanks for trying to help me be a better person. Let me look into it, and then I'll get back with you.
We live in this fake it till you make it mentality,
all day long.
But you say when it comes to our richest relationships and our deepest connections, we should just admit what we don't know.
Wouldn't that be great if you just admit what you don't know? And what's so amazing, a lot of times we have this facade where we have to pretend like I know all this stuff, and you don't. Sometimes the best thing you can say is, you know what, I don't know what to do about this. I really don't know what to do. And it's a really powerful lift, and then you turn it back on them. What do you think we should do? The reason that's a lift is because now I'm going to validate that you have a brain, you have a clue. Let's hear your ideas.
You want to hear my ideas?
I would love to.
Thank you so much.
So amazing.
Well, you say we'll get good results if we tell the person that we're talking to how helpful they are, acknowledging their new ideas or their perspective.
What if all of a sudden, every conversation, you could acknowledge something you learned from the conversation and attribute it to the other? You know what, I was thinking, I had never thought about what you just said right there until right now. Now, if somebody actually said, you made them think a new thought.
Listen, that was a hypothetical, and I still felt better about this conversation. I was like, yes.
That's how connected we are. But what's amazing about it, if all of a sudden every conversation was a learning opportunity, and I gave you credit for helping me learn and be better, then I'm going to bet in the next conversation you're going to try harder to help me be an even better person.
I love that. Acknowledge their ideas. You say there is one trick that can lift any conversation. That is when we agree whenever and wherever we can.
Yeah, I believe 80 to 90% of what we fight about, you can actually agree on. And that's coming from somebody.
Hold on.
No, I promise.
80 to 90% of what we fight about, we can agree on?
If I took your biggest argument with another human being and we started to cut it down to its finest points, you and that other would agree on 90%.
So where do we go wrong?
We fight about the 10%. And we spend all of our time thinking that we have to argue that 10%. And I think if I know I'm disagreeing with you on 10%, then I probably disagree on everything. And the reality is you don't. It blows people away. When I'll take couples that are actually in big arguments, and I'll say, so you believe that the kids should have discipline and rules? Well, yeah. Do you believe the kids should have discipline and rules? Oh, absolutely. So we agree? Now what we disagree on is the rules. But then if we take every rule and break it down into its pieces, do you agree that we should have some boundaries of when children should be home? Oh, absolutely. How about you? Totally.
You've trained me up so well with this next piece of advice. Use and, not but.
Yep. Buts build walls, ands build bridges. Nobody wants a butt. Or a big butt, right? Nobody wants that. And so when you get into butts, the butt immediately eliminates everything you've already said. I love you, you're amazing, you're incredible, but you gotta work harder.
That's where the and comes in.
I love you, you're amazing, you're incredible, and you gotta work harder. The and makes it so two ideas can actually go together, and you don't have to choose one or the other. The but actually builds a wall that you have to scale and climb to get over.
You heard it here first. Nobody wants big butts.
Nobody wants a big butt.
All right, there's a reason compliments and positivity work. The research shows us that. The application shows us that. You say build people up where you can.
Build them where you can. Affirm their strengths. How powerful would it be if somebody noticed something about you, heard something about you, thought something about you that came up in the conversation, and they just affirmed it? I really love how hardworking you are. I can't believe the schedule you keep and you're still able to do it all. I really respect that. So what if in every conversation you could just affirm the good and just shine a light right on the good? Then all of a sudden, I promise, that will automatically lift another soul because at least I know you see my good. You don't know the other 15 things I do wrong, but when I know someone can see my good, I want to go see the good in others.
This was awesome. I'm going to replay this
cool.
in my mind again and again. Thank
Over
you
and
so
over.
much. We are still on a high from the date night.
Yeah, huge. So
both
fun.
here in Salt Lake and in Ogden. If people couldn't get to that date night, though, you have a way they can reach you through the World Wide Web.
We have this thing called the interweb. And if you go to matttownsend.com, you can get on there. We have an awesome set, what's it called? A webinar. Where you can go learn the new 3 secrets in your relationship, how to figure out how to make your marriage better. 3 very basic secrets. It's a full 1-hour free webinar.
Love it. Go to matttownsend.com. We'll link you over from our website. Thanks, my friend.
Thanks, Brooklyn.